So here's my painting, and what I think happened is when I applied this Gamvar gloss varnish, I must not have applied it evenly. There are areas where you can see it's more shiny and then it gets flat, and I want to correct this, and the only way I know to truly correct it properly is to go ahead and remove the varnish. So what I'm going to do today is remove it using the Gamsol. Now it's important when you remove it to have clean, lint-free claws. Now this is an old t-shirt that's been washed many times, so I'm going to use these old t-shirt pieces to apply the Gamsol and then to remove it and wipe it back. And then once I've removed all the varnish and I've allowed it to dry, I'm going to re-varnish it, and I'm either going to use the gloss varnish or I'm considering also using the satin varnish. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but thanks for joining me and let's get to it. Before I remove the varnish, I want to go over and make sure all the dust is off the painting. I then pour a small amount of the Gamsol into a clean container. I'm going to saturate the cloth with a liberal amount of the Gamsol and apply it to the painting. And I've decided to work in small sections. I think that's a good idea when your painting's a little larger. And now taking a different cloth, I am wiping back the Gamsol, and in so doing this, I'm removing the varnish. And as you can see, there's a little bit of color on the cloth, and I do believe that's just the varnish coming off. And then working section by section, I apply the Gamsol and then take a clean rag. And sometimes I just refold the rag to get to a clean spot on that particular rag. And then I remove the Gamsol and just do this over and over again, working section by section. It still looked a little bit shiny and glossy here, so I decided to apply the Gamsol one more time and wipe it back, just to be sure I got all the varnish off the painting. So what I've decided to do is try out this Gamvar satin varnish, and the gloss varnish is very thin, whereas the satin varnish, it's a little more milky, and that is due to the wax particles that are in the varnish. The wax that is in the satin varnish, which is not in the gloss varnish, can separate. So it is a good idea, especially if you're in a colder environment, but I'm going to do it anyway, is place it in a cup of warm water just to make sure that any of those wax particles have mixed into the varnish and that everything is integrated before applying it to your painting. Then I'm going to give it a little shake. So there it is, the Gamvar satin varnish. All right, let's do this. I poured some of the varnish into a bowl, but before I apply it, I'm going to wipe the painting down again with a soft bristle brush and just make sure no dust particles are on the surface of my painting. And as I apply the varnish, you can see I use a little bit of a scrubbing motion. This is to make sure that the varnish is fully integrated into every little nook and cranny within the paint. I did edit a little bit of this out, but I do go over every inch of the painting with the varnish. And don't worry if there's any little bubbles in the varnish, they will go away when the varnish dries. So I think this looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and let it dry. And if there's any spot that I feel needs a little more varnish, I'll just apply it as a spot treatment. And then my painting will be finished, in my opinion, and ready to hang on the wall. To clean my varnish brush, I just pour some Gamsol into a bowl and really work it into the bristles. I want to make sure my brush is completely clean so that it'll be ready for the next time I want to varnish a painting. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll like and subscribe today if you haven't already, and come back and visit me really soon. Bye!